What should I do, buckaroos? How the heck are ya? I am Tony Beer Whisperer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purpose of this video, even though I'm wearing my Springfield Brewing Company shirt. What I got going on here is a Springfield Group Brewing Company / Iechyd Da Trifecta. So I have the 2024 Bourbon Tsarry Night, a bourbon barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout with cocoa nibs and espresso, brewed and canned by Springfield Brewing Company in Springfield, Missouri. This one is at 9%, I do believe. Yep, let me show you that can. Let me show you the back side of the can. All right. And I'm pairing this beer. Let me show you the beer now, because it's beautiful, man. I'm pairing this beer with two Iechyd Da products. Of course, they're sister companies, as you know. I've got their Hinterland Bourbon Cream. It is at 19% or 38 proof. So Hinterland is their maple barrel whiskey, which I have right here. Iechyd Da Hinterland bourbon whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels. It is at 92 proof. So I've got all three products. I've got the SBC Iechyd Da Trifecta going on here. I'll pick up this bourbon cream first, though. Now look at that color. It's just nice. Very creamy, exactly what you want a product like this to do. Very comforting on a cold winter Ozarks night that I have here. You may have figured out that I'm not really in this nice little jazz pub with the mountains behind me, but thought it'd make a nice background for the video. My poor man's green screen here. Oh, man, that's delicious. I poured about 4 ounces there. Got 3 ounces of the Iechyd Da Hinterland. So I got 2 of the glasses you see there. And I do have a Glencairn type with the Iechyd Da logo, which is nice. But I love glasses like this, though. I like the bigger glass. Nice, very nice. Very easy to drink and approachable at 92. I was talking whiskey with some folks yesterday, some friends. They were talking about, he's done some distilling himself. Was talking about what he likes, the proof. And I was saying, I've really gotten to, I really enjoy cask whiskey because I like the uncut, unfiltered. And I'm kind of a rarity, I guess, because I don't get that burn, that hotness that a lot of folks feel. If it's a good product, I don't. I could definitely tell rock gut, don't get me wrong, but if it's a good quality, small craft, distilled product, I don't. I really taste everything that it has to offer, and I know I'm a little different that way, but... So because of that, I tend to buy 90 proof and above. I've gotten to where 80 proof whiskey just seems very watery to me. But then I've talked to other folks that will swear that anything over 90 proof is hot, regardless of who makes it, this, that, or the other. The proof itself is what makes it hot, and I've argued that point. It's not the proof that makes it hot. It's well, a lot of it is how quality is your whiskey, but it's your interpretation of. Oh, mercy, that is good. sort of kind of found my way back to this type of product, right? We all grew up drinking a certain brand of Irish cream, right? But bourbon creams have become popular over the last several years, really, probably about the last decade. I've seen it grow. Now you have a lot of small distilleries doing their version of a bourbon cream that's just delicious. Very easy to drink. I'm going to pick up this whiskey now. Very nice whiskey at 92 proof. You really feel those maple notes are just kind of accent everything. Doesn't overpower, but you can definitely feel them in there. I do like maple barrel whiskeys. When we were on vacation, I picked up a cask maple barrel from Echo Spirits, and that thing was just gorgeous. Oh, let me pick up my beer now. I wanted that to warm a little bit. That's why I was focusing more on the whiskey for a bit there. I did not have this in the fridge. However, I did have it in the garage, which was probably just as cold, probably colder than the fridge anyway. It's been cold, man. As that warms, those espresso notes become more prevalent. You really feel that chocolate, those cocoa nibs right away. You kind of feel it as a nice dark chocolate presence, just that hint of that dark chocolate bitterness. But as it warms, I'm really feeling those coffee notes come to the surface. Those espresso notes really come to the surface. Let's launch it. That stuff is delicious, man. It's really good, man. uh, nice, smooth mouthfeel. Rather delicate. Again, I feel that maple right away. You're going to get the bourbon notes, right? So you're going to feel some of the usual suspects. Vanilla, the oak. But I do feel some nice spice in here, right? The finish that balances that maple sweetness just a little bit. Oh, mercy. Sometimes I forget how good this beer is from year to year. I do have some of last year's left around. I did a comparison the other day. Oh man! But I wanted to have one of well, I was going to say this year's, but came out late 20. They came out. Was it Black Friday? I believe they came out Black Friday of 24. Yeah, as it warms up, you can really feel those notes balance a little better. Colder, when it's colder, those notes they're there, but they're a little sharper. Might feel a little disjointed, but as it warms up, they just come together to to just form that one flavor, right? The chocolate kind of harmonizes with the espresso notes, and then you've got the big roasted barley going on. Oh, mercy. I gotta use some of this whiskey now to do a maple old fashioned now. I've said this before. I'm a little different than most. Everybody seems to want to use the big cube, and I typically do during the summer. But during the winter, even my old fashions, I tend to serve straight up. I do like them chilled, but I don't want ice in the glass, so I tend to just chill the drink and pour it straight up. That's how I prefer most of my cocktails. I don't like ice in my drinks. And my wife's the opposite. She likes ice and everything, but I'm just not an ice guy. I learned something the other day at work too. I didn't realize that Germans don't typically use a lot of ice. A customer come in, a wife of a regular, and I was making her some cocktails, and typically I use the ice, or fill it up with ice because that's how most of the customers like it. But he had asked me, would I mind using less? The Germans really don't do ice. Oh, okay. So now I just chill her drink nicely, just put a little bit in there. I'll serve them any way they want. But it was interesting. I did not know that. I mean, I prefer my drink straight up, so yeah, that's how you like them. That's how I fix them, man. I'm there to make the customers happy. Oh, use this background here in lieu of going out myself. Made an executive decision earlier today that I wasn't getting out, man. It was starting to warm up a little bit here, but I really wanted to just stay comfortable in my nice. I got my nice comfy sweats on that I like. They're a little baggy and they're warm. Oh, now I can just relax. This is the first alcohol of the day as we wind it down. Just had dinner. Thought, well, let's make myself. Well, actually, I wasn't sure what I was going to have until I started looking and said, oh, I could do this little trifecta thing going on here. I'll have the beer and the two products. I also have a bottle of their double barrel rye, which I've used in making my Manhattans and old fashions. But if I'm doing a maple, I ought to use that Hinterland, or at least some. Maybe have an ounce of each in there. Oh. That mouthfeel really rounds out too as it warms up. It becomes a little more viscous. Oh, this whiskey is absolutely gorgeous, man. Yeah, I was just thinking out loud here. I was going to do the thinking maple old fashioned with this Hinterland. We typically add maple syrup as well, and I've got a couple good barrel aged maples, but I'm thinking with the sweetness of this whiskey, if I'm adding maple syrup, it's going to be a rather sweet drink. So I'm thinking I might do an ounce of the double barrel, an ounce of the Hinterland, about a half ounce of the maple syrup, and then we might have something there. And then use the black walnut bitters, which I like to use for maple old fashioned. As we get towards the end, of the whiskey. Let me set that down for a second. I'm going to have a drink of this beer before I finish that whiskey up. Oh, mercy. Worked my long day yesterday, so I can relax today. I got today and tomorrow off. Through most of December, I didn't have a full weekend off. Now things are mellowing out. Other folks want hours too. Because I was hogging the hours there for a little bit, but... oh, hell, those youngsters got families. Just the wife and I, so... we were closed Christmas Day. We were closed Christmas Eve as well. But I worked the day before, which was really busy. And I worked the day after, which was really busy. I also worked a New Year's Eve, which we decided to open this year. I just from 2 to 7. And boy, that really worked out. I got to tell you, it was busy. So anyway, Iechyd Da. I'm going to show this bottle one more time before I polish this whiskey off. Iechyd Da, Springfield, Missouri. This is their Hinterland Bourbon whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels, produced and bottled by Iechyd Da Distillery, Springfield, Missouri. Let me show you that bottle. You read all those particulars there. I'll show you the backside if you want to focus in on that and read that story. And I'll show you my can here of the Bourbon Tsarry Night. This is the 2024 version. And then getting near the end of my Hinterland Bourbon Cream. I'll probably just finish it up this evening. Hinterland Bourbon Cream, 38 proof bourbon whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels with rum and natural flavors. There you go. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I am also, who are you, Tom? How many personalities you got going on up there? I lost count, man. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guys, Sláinte. Thanks for tuning in, guys.